this board here, okay? If I place the board this size and put it here, well, let's say the table, for example. You've got the table there. If I put that table, okay, who would be brave enough if there was 1,000 pounds on the other side to walk over the table? Who'd be comfortable doing that? If someone said, walk over the table and pick up 1,000 pounds, would you be, okay, you would do, you would do, okay, pretty easy. What if we raise this table and put it, say, 1,000 feet in the air? And underneath, all you can see is like water or the floor. How would you feel then? If someone put you in the building, you give it a go. You're braver than me. You're a lot braver than me. I think you'll give it a miss. But what's the difference between that being that high and being 1,000?
Risk.
Yeah. Risk. It's very risk involved, isn't it? All of a sudden, what are we risking?
Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we're not risking as such if it's only so high, because we know before we're okay. But is the board different? The demographics are the same. Assuming there's no wind or any environmental differences, it's the same. So we're comfortable, okay? So in sport, what are we doing? What's the events? So what's the difference between training? So if I decide I'm going to compete spar with one of you guys, and I won't do that because you'll beat me. But if I spar now, I'm safe. I'm okay. Yeah. But if it's a competition, why does it change? Why do you get, say, a footballer, and in training I've seen them score penalties, 99 times out of 100 they score, easy. Put them in a cup final, and some of the most technically gifted footballers miss.
Oh, pressure.
But what is pressure?
Failure.
It's failure, it's the expectation we put on ourselves. All of a sudden, we don't focus on the events. We focus on the event in the sense that we focus on the outcome. What if, what if, what if? What if I lose? Will I get a chance again? What if I miss? We forget about the process. What I mean by the process, I'll sort of quickly demonstrate what I mean by process. I'll talk about that a lot today. Is, okay, if I've got a ball, okay, the process is I'm going to strike a ball. Okay, if I'm focusing World Cup final, penalty shootout, if I miss the crowd, I'll never get a chance again. I'm focusing on the outcome, which is okay. The outcome's okay. But the outcome being I want to score the goal, the best chance to score the goal is to focus on my technique, the process. So the process might be full alongside the ball, arms out for balance, strike through the ball, pick a target. Have you ever seen those players that they run and take a penalty and they just freeze up?
Yeah.
Because they go to type, and a lot of pressure, your brain goes to type, and all that means in plain English is you go back to a point where you have no skill in that acquisition of skill in that technique. So the footballer who freezes up, and a lot of pressure goes back to before he knew how to kick a ball, because the brain just locks up. And that's probably what happens to some people in the fighting game, because so much pressure they put on themselves. If I lose, but on top of that, the person coming at you, because football's a little different until you get to penalty shootout, because team sports, you can hide, not hide, I'm not saying players do hide, but you kind of get away with it. You're out there on your own, like a penalty, like a one-on-one tennis match, goal, you're there. Spotlight's on you. Okay? You're a team now, you'll be a team now, but when you're out there, it's over to you. So I want to get the player, the footballer, to just focus on the process. Because there's nothing worse than when the player skies it over the bar, straight at the keeper. I haven't got a problem with the player if the keeper dives to the left and saves it. Great save, hold my hands up. Sometimes you get beaten by the better person on the day. We've just got to accept that. I don't want to put that to your head, but sometimes there's certain people that on the day, they were just too good. And we've got to improve and get better. Okay, I know there's certain sports people that I've been involved with or played against that they are exceptionally talented. Very good at what they do, they're prepared, everything's going well. We've studied them, found a way to beat them. Just on the day, they've been too good. Okay? The best you can do is be the best you can be. Like in the FA Cup, when a big team gets beat by a smaller team raises their game. The bigger team drops slightly. But then you wonder why the smaller team can't do that every week. It could be expectation, it could be in the mind, it could be many things. So I'm going to sort of cover some stuff for you to think about. Before I cover, one thing, very, very briefly to show you how things can affect people. Many years ago, I'll sort of share a few things as we go along. Many years ago, I got the call off this parent saying, can you work with my daughter? She's got an issue with trampolining. And to cut a long story short, to my knowledge, a good few years ago now, one of the team had burst their leg on the trampoline. And she'd seen it happen. And that produced a lot of anxiety. She gave up and didn't want a trampoline no more because she saw one of the colleagues burst their leg. And would that frighten anyone, you think? It would me, for sure. And that went into her brain. It locked into a part of her brain and she built an association. The trampolining, and every time she thought about trampolining, she'd get anxious. You know when you feel anxious, when you see a wild dog on the street or you're in a bit of danger, what happens? If you see, someone cuts you on the road, the heart rate goes. So she was going to give up, give me a call, and we sort of started doing some work together. And shows you what the mind is. So from the brink of giving up, we did some work. Some of the stuff that we're going to cover today, some stuff we don't have time to cover today, but I can email you and you can sort of go on your journey. And she ended up getting back in the game. There was a report on the paper, it was the Lancashire Telegraph, and she went back to trampolining and she won a World Age Group bronze medal and other things. I don't know, I sort of lost contact with her after she worked with me, but I know she got back in. I know she was competing, the last I heard, at the British Championship, I think it was, and won a silver, and her mum had texted me to say, and then she'd gone on. Now I'm not putting it down to me, I'm not that sort of person to say every successful down to me. What I'm saying is just that the mind can be really implicit. How fine-tuning it. So you've got a girl may give up sport, may not perform to her best. It doesn't take a lot. It's a bit like a plane. You're in a plane, you hit a bit of turbulence and you get an association with a plane. Equally, it shouldn't take a long time to reverse that. I'm going to give you some skills you can use that are tangible today, that you can use. And I sort of plucked them out of one. I've written many books, some in sports, some in business, some in other areas. I've brought some and you can read them when you want. So I've plucked a few things out of one of the books I've written. I wanted to be a bestseller. And I was going to give you what you need, and the goal is for you to take what's right for you, dismiss what you don't want, and the goal is to improve incrementally. Because people say to me all the time, Jim, what do you think is the most important in sport? Physical, mental, or nutrition? What do you think is the most important thing? And what do you think it is?
Mental.
I think so. Yeah.
It's mental and sleep.
Sleep, yeah, definitely. For sure, sleep is really important. It's a good point. You need to rest. But for me, it's hard to quantify how much mental is. Because they say, what percentage is mental? I'm like, I don't know. The reason I don't know is because what I do know, if two fighters at the same level, and we both prepare the same, we both got the same talents, we both eat well, we both sleep well, but one prepares mentally and one doesn't, there's a good chance that one who prepares mentally will win. And mental preparation with visualization, rehearsal, reinforcing pathways in the brain for confidence, motivation. So all things being equal, how do we quantify mental? 80% mental, 50% mental. No matter how you look at it, if all things are equal, the mind's going to play a part. Because if they've both had a row with their wife the night before, or their husband the night before, and they turn up for competition, who's the one that's going to prepare best, do you think? Or if they had a cut up on the road, if their dog's passed away, who's the one's got a better chance?
Well, the husband.
Well, the one that can, if things happen outside, can regulate their mind. Because we can't control what happens. But if all things are going to happen in life, teenagers, for example, don't process the way an adult can process information. They've got the same emotion, they feel the same as adults feel, they can't process it because their brain's not fully mature until about 22. So they struggle with that, and that impacts their behaviour. But you can help them, they get more rational, you can help them pull things together and improve. But as we got older, for experience, through brain development, we can process stuff better. What I mean by that, if I'm walking down the street and I see my best friend, you see your best friend, they walk straight past you, what's your first thoughts? Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah. But someone who struggles with processing might think, what do you think they might think? So a teenager might think, I'm not popular no more, are they blanking me? Or any adult can think that too. But the less developed your brain is, the more you're going to think, okay, because what's a rational thing to do? Because you could text them and say, why'd you blank me, you so-and-so? Yeah. And you can block them on Facebook, you can tell them off, what do people do these days? But you can say, you know what, are you okay? Did you see me? Because they might not have seen you. They might not see you, they might just want to walk away. And that could be true, but that might not be true. So we're going to look at how our thoughts impact our mind, which is key. I've sort of looked at things scientifically. Years ago when I was working in football as a performance coach, we played a premiership team, and before the game I hooked up people to a heart rate monitor. You seen them heart rate monitors? Yeah. And before the game, what I noticed was the team that I was working with in League 2, heart rate, before we start the game, had a spike in heart rate. And I wondered at that point, what's the difference between a Premier League player and League 2 player? And I realised, I thought, you know what, is it psychological? Is it physiological? Are these players at a high level mentally more capable? And I don't know to this day what the answer is, but what I do know, if I start a game with a heart rate of 150, and another player starts at 100 beats per minute, the one who starts at 100 is going to be more focused. And if you know the physiological side, imagine running up and down this room 10 times and have to go straight into a fight. Imagine sitting there calmly and going into a fight. Big difference, isn't it? Yeah. To regulate yourself. Yeah. Same as sport. So if a chance comes to me to score a goal and I'm sort of focused, I've got a better chance. Okay? So it's quite fascinating how the mind and body's linked, which we'll touch as we go along. This is sort of the heart, it's hard to bridge the heart to the head, being that we know logically what the answer is, but the emotions are different. You know logically not to smoke, not to drink excessively, not to do bad habits. You're not in danger when you fight, in the sense that you do what you talk to do, but the heart's doing something different. The emotion's still firing off. So we've got to find a way to develop the skills. And just like you eat nutritionally well, don't eat one good meal and you're healthy forever. You don't do one gym session, you're fit for life. You don't do one martial arts session. I bet there's some people who come to your martial arts and do 2 weeks and think they're a professional. they're Bruce Lee. You know? Yeah. But people can improve fast, don't they? They do that. But ultimately, it takes time. You've got to practice. The more you put in, the more you get out. Because logic will always get beat by emotion. Okay? If you don't regulate your emotion, then you will not be able to perform to your best. That's the important bit. Okay? And the way I see it is like a conductor. Think of the brain like a conductor. The conductor's got to organise different people who've got different instruments, sounds, tempo, rhythm. So the front part of the brain is like a conductor for all the experiences that you've ever had in your life. And your feelings, your associations, you've got to somehow pull it together and produce the behaviour that's correct at that time. And you'll do the best you can do. See, the more you train, the more adaptive your behaviour is. So the more I know what to do, coping strategy, so I work with people who've got issues like self-harm and substance misuse and that sort of stuff. They're doing what they know to do. So to give them other coping strategies, well, I'm not making recommendations, obviously every individual is part of the treatment plan, but we sort of do what we feel. People who smoke, it's generally a coping strategy for a feeling. They drink excessively, it's to mask the emotion. So if I go into a fight, okay, if I'm going to a fight, then all of a sudden I might start behaving erratically. I might start, fear might start driving my behaviour. Technically I'm forgetting what Philip's taught me. I'm thinking, okay, I'll do this. I'll turn around, I'll hide, I'll freeze, I'll start going wayward. We've seen boxers do that in the press conference. They get talked out by another boxer. So sort of pulling it all together. The best fighters. Have you seen the best fighters, how focused they are? Some great fighters. They are focused. You know, I've been quite fortunate to work with some great athletes, and they are on it. They are on it. When the bell rings, when they cross that white line, they are on it. A bit like a coach. So think of that part of your brain like a coach that's got to get everyone pulling together in a team. And that's what we're going to sort of think about the brain, is to be able to plan, think clearly, prioritize, and focus on what you've got to do to move forward. Okay? Because from the moment you're born, you don't have any fear when you're born, other than loud noises and falling. But we pick up these fears along the way. Okay? There's a really famous experiment they did in the 1920s, I think it was. It wouldn't be allowed now, because there are rules in ethics and guidelines, but there was a baby, 11-month-old baby, and they wanted to see how we were conditioned in our responses. And what they did is they did like some testing prior to doing what they did, to see if you had any exposure to fears and phobias. They didn't, other than loud noise. And what they did is they got a furry animal, I think it was a white rat, 11-month-old, and they put it next to him. And behind the baby, they'd get like a hammer, I think, and make a big loud noise. And they did it often enough until at one point, when they exposed the baby to the white rat, any fluffy toys or animals, the baby would go into fear. Okay? So it built an association. Now, he wouldn't be allowed to do that test these days, but what we do know is that the brain builds associations. It's sort of implicitly, unconsciously. You don't know why you're afraid, you just are. Okay? For me, you might have an experience, you might have a intellectual curiosity, an experiential curiosity, what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you some experiences, because we learn for experiences. Just like you would do in training. Because I can tell you what to do, I can give you a ball and say, you know what, to strike a ball, you put the ball down, you can stay next to me, place 1 foot alongside the ball, head down, strike, and you can do it while I'm doing it with you, but then when you come back you forget. If I give you the ball and say find a way, as well as me showing you a way to hit the back wall, then that becomes a skill. Same as mental skills. They're adaptable. You don't learn like a maths equation. You know, no one's ever read a book and been a martial arts champion, have they? No one's read a book and been a Wimbledon champion. No one's ever read a book and been a professional footballer. You've got it experiential, the same as mental skills. Okay? So let's just briefly, I don't want to sort of hit with too much jargon and that sort of stuff, but let me sort of briefly sort of touch on one thing. There's a part of the brain here, it's the amygdala, it's in the limbic system. One of its functions, it's got other functions too, one of its functions is to assess danger. So when you hit with all this information through your senses, see, hear, feel, touch, smell, whatever, it makes a split moment decision to fight, flight, or freeze. And it produces chemicals in the body. Talked about chemicals in the body, adrenaline and that sort of stuff really. What happens when you see something dangerous? What do?
Freeze.
You freeze, you fight, or you run. What's your body, your heart rate? Yeah, it increases. And so when you go for a fight, and your heart rate increases, and you might feel a bit jittery, and you start thinking, okay, the brain is making an association. You see the other person at the other side of the room, you're weighing him up, or her up. You see how tall they are. Are they bigger than me? Are they smaller than me? Are they more muscular than me? Are they faster than me? You might see them fight another fight. You're weighing all that up. And then all of a sudden your brain starts playing tricks on you. You forget what you can do, you worry about what he or she can do.
Nice, true. Yeah.
So you've got to worry about what you can do, as well as, I'm not suggesting you can't learn and think, is there any weaknesses, but also think, okay, I worked for a Premiership Football Club once. I delivered some training for them in this sort of protocol, and they told me that on the team bus they were watching the strengths of the other teams. I said, the first thing I suggest you do is put that away.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that, you're going to make things even worse for you, unless you're going to nullify that strength. Unless you're going to take a player out, for example, which I don't recommend you do. But unless you're going to, you know, okay, he's got a strength on his right foot, push him on his left. But if you're looking at it, you know, it's going to psych you out. Watch your own strengths, have your own greatest hits. So the brain's at that point there, and the brain's got references. So if a baby sees a spider, what do you think a baby will do?
Speed and flat.
Well, maybe it's at a certain point, but before the baby knows the spider's spider could be dangerous, it might just pick the spider up. But it might scream and cry if it sees, or hears the spider's dangerous. So start building association. Okay? So play the game, the process, not the person. Focus on you. Control the controllables. I can't control what you do if I'm committing against you. I can control myself. That's the key. Control your own mind. Push whatever's going on in the primal brain to the frontal brain. You've got a neocortex that's very logical. That's the part of the brain that if you hear a bang in the kitchen tonight, midnight, the part of the brain that thinks, is someone breaking in, it's coming from there. The amygdala hears the sound and thinks, oh no. And then as you're walking downstairs, your heart's beating, the front brain's saying, well, it could be the dishes I left that fell over. Then you keep walking, it's like a tennis match. Bang, bang, until you keep walking. Now it could be someone left the door open. Actually, the dishes, and then you turn up, dishes on the floor, nothing to worry about. There's a tennis match. But the adrenaline of the amygdala can last for up to 4 hours. So if I get cut up on the road, up 4 hours later, I can still be shaky. Okay? And also, it takes about 6 seconds to go from the amygdala, to go from the limbic to the neocortex, the tennis match. So, who's ever sent a text to someone they regret sending, or an email, or said something? So, what I say when I train sales teams, buy time. At least 6 seconds before you respond. Because then you respond more logically. Okay? You say something to me, and I sort of, when I would teach managers in press conferences, I say, you know what, before you answer the question, because the manager gets riled up, the whole team goes as well. There's a good chance. Then I'll say to the manager, before you answer the question at press conference, have a drink. Not vodka, a drink of water to buy 6 seconds. Because we've seen managers get riled up without naming names, and we see what effect that has to the team. Because if you see Philip compete and he gets riled up, then you're going to start wondering, oh no. And that happens in sport a lot. So I say to managers, buy yourself 6 seconds. Even players, before you answer the question, because once you get emotionally wound up, you get emotionally hijacked and not clear then. Okay? You're not clear. I'm not implying you play mind games with the people you compete against, but what I'm saying that the mind games start. What I'm saying is that you probably won or lost a fight before the fights happen. I would say 90% of the fights you won or lost before you even. It's all in here. You know, it's all in there. And there's a point between you stepping in there, fighting, and there's a point that you've made a decision to perform in the way that you've done. Sometimes things can change. So in a football game, for example, if you're losing 1-0, you score me half time and gets 1-1. Say if I'm in a team and we've battered the opposition, and we're only winning 1-0, and then before half time they score 1-0. Does it change the psychology of the game, do you think? Yeah. Then we think, oh no, we're only one, it's 1-1 now. Okay, we're winning 3-0. And then they score 3 goals in the last 10 minutes and it's 3-3, extra time. You think, oh no, what now? So goals can change games. So in your sport too, sometimes certain things change. Even in a competition can change things. Because briefly, I'll sort of touch on this model here. If the situation is the competition, I want to ask you, what is going through your mind before you go and fight? What's going through your mind? Imagine for a moment you're going to go and fight. If you're in a competition now. Imagine you're going to go to competition now. What is going through your mind? Anything?
What techniques to use against the person depending on the height?
Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah.
Is it, do I know this person? Do I know him?
Yeah.
If he beats me, I'm not got the treaties as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of also like a checklist in my mind if I've done enough rounds, if I've done this.
Okay.
I'm kind of like, I'm weighing up the good and the bad. Just when I do it then you kind of see, oh, it's more good, it's a little bad, and that's kind of like confidence boost.
You know, it can be, yeah, for sure.
Like I want to know what it is.
Yeah, and that can all go through your mind. What if all of a sudden I say to Philip, I want to compete tomorrow, and he goes, I've got someone for you, and I get all sort of confident, I'm sort of sure I can do well, and then I turn up here tomorrow, and I see someone like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 6 7 foot tall, turn up. What do you think going to go through my mind?
All your confidence is gone.
Potentially, yeah. Oh, goodness me. Thanks for the vote of confidence. You got a lot of faith in me. But the point is that it's going to affect me for sure. But he might not be very good. He might be good, or she might be good. Who knows? I don't know that. Because ultimately, in the end, you could get someone who I might perceive as being easy, target, and they could end up being like a Bruce Lee and wipe the floor. But what I'm suggesting is that it's just our thoughts about the situation. Like if you're walking down the street, you see your friend, it's our thoughts. And our thoughts impact our feelings. Because if I see this guy, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, turn up, you know, huge brute who's like, you know, 300 pounds of muscle, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm toast. What if he hurts me? How do you think it'll start to feel? Yeah, worried, anxious, yeah. Well, lose is probably the best part of it, definitely. And yeah, and then how do you think behaviour, what's going to happen behaviourally?
You would start to go all, you wouldn't fight your fight, you'd start going all defensive and covering up.
I'd be like, Phil, you take it. He's yours. I'm out of here, you know, and that's the whole thing. And physically, what happens physically, do you think?
Not strong.
And yeah, exactly, because physically my heart's pounding, I'm nervous, I'm scared. So one impacts it. So your thoughts are really important, your beliefs. I want you to work on your thoughts. And I want you to think about your thoughts when you go into a fight. Okay? And how they're impacting your ability to do what you do best. Okay? I want you to take time. I'm going to give you some stuff today. I'll work on your thoughts, your beliefs. Because if I go into that fight against a guy who's huge and think, okay, I can do the best I can do. I'm going to focus on that. All I can do is the best I can do. It only takes one punch. It only takes me to do the best I can do. I'll do what I've learnt. Will it make a big impact if I go in there and think, okay, I can beat this guy. He's only human. He's beatable. I can move. I'm talented. I can do well. I can do the best I can do. It changes the whole complexion. Then I feel confident. Not overconfident, but confident enough to do what I can do. And sure, I might feel a bit physically nervous, but I can channel that. Because it's okay to have butterflies as long as they fly in formation. It's okay, nothing wrong with being nervous. I was walking out one time, a huge game we had, and one of the players I was working with said, I feel really nervous, Jim. I said, good. He goes, why is that? Because it means you care. If you weren't nervous, I'd rather you stay in the dressing room. So you really find anxiety early on. It's great. So, but we've got to channel that, which is key. Because it's the event, our perception of the event, our beliefs about the event, and it has emotional consequences, and we can change. We can dispute our thoughts. And I'm going to give you some stuff that you can do to do that. To have a more rational way of seeing things from that point of view. You restructure your mind, your thought process. Because if you go from being scared, I'm going to lose, so I'm going to enjoy myself. I love this sport. I'm going to go out there and just have fun, enjoy it. And in enjoying it, I'm going to go out there and do the best I can. I want to win. Of course I do. But the best way of winning is to focus on what I've been taught to do. There's a chance I could lose. If I lose, I'll improve. If I win, I can still improve. There's always a chance, and anyone can lose, but there's a chance he can lose too. She can lose as well. So it changed the whole dynamic. Our beliefs impact behind the behaviour is a belief. Okay? If I believe I'm good at doing something, then I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. Okay? It's a bit like cutting a long story short. I watched a press conference years ago on TV. I don't know him personally, but I watched a press conference on TV. It was a football manager who had like so much experience in the game of football. As a footballer, won European Cup Footballer of the Year twice, I think. Had qualifications, really clever man. Did really, really well as a footballer and did well as a manager. And in the press conference, he says, when he lost the game at Wembley, the last game at Wembley, the old Wembley, he says that I'm not cut out for this level. That's a belief. Kevin Keegan had that belief. I don't know him personally, I can't speak about his belief system, but I know from watching the press conference on TV, that wouldn't have helped him. Because if he doesn't believe in himself, what will the players do you think? Possibly. And he said that at the press conference. You can see it, that's what he said. When he was interviewed in the press, I don't know him, I don't want to sort of, judge the guy. He's done exceptionally well. I'm sure he's great at what he does. All I'm saying is he hears people's language patterns. Equally, the other guy never was a professional footballer. Never played as a pro, as far as I'm aware. Don't know him either. But I know when I watched the press conference on TV as well, and he says on TV one time when he first started managing in this country, he called himself the special one. Now, I'm not suggesting he called himself the special one, but it shows that Jose Mourinho has been the most successful manager, whatever you think of him in modern generation, his belief system supports his behaviour. And once I was driving to do an interview at Talk Sport about mental skills, and as I'm driving down there, I heard one of the Chelsea players being interviewed. I wanted to hear what they were doing before I arrived and talk about mental skills. And one of the Chelsea players says, I said, what does Mourinho do different? And the Chelsea player says, well, I can't really think of it, what he does different. Only other than he's got so much belief in himself, it just rubs off on you. Something along them lines. So what I'm saying is that if you walk in there, okay, if you walk into a fight like this, what do you think the other guy's going to do?
Stand up tall.
Yeah. Brilliant, And if you walk in there, back straight, focused, what's the other guy going to react? Yeah.
React a bit less confident.
I think so. Because we had a game once in football, to give you an example. This game in football we had once where it was Bury, I was looking at Bury at the time versus Rochdale, and at half time we went back out to the play, and we're winning 1-0. It was 1-0, I think it was 1-0. Yeah, we played really well, and the players at half time were a bit frustrated because it was 1-0. They did what I said earlier. They scored the last second before half time. We outplayed them, and second half I says to the guys, before you go out there with your back straight, looking focused, looking forward. And even though they were tired, some of them, it was a tough game, they did that. Then we won the game, and about a year or two later, I met one of the Rochdale players in the gym. I was doing a little bit of work with him too. Rory, I said to him, he goes, we talked about that game. He goes, when they saw our players walk out at half time, like that, they thought, no, what are we going to do for the next 45 minutes? These guys aren't even, we've tried everything we can at them. And so what I'm saying, if you start doing things like this, you start doing things like that, little subtle things, it gives off cues. So I always tell my players, never look down. Always bring your hands behind your head to breathe, open the airways. Don't give them any ammunition. Okay? Look them in the eye. Firm. Okay? That could be the difference. I'm not saying to eyeball them, but look them in the eye, steely. Go in there, and no matter if they're 2 foot taller than you, go in there and use your physical presence. Not to intimidate them, to let them know you were there. Not in an arrogant way, in a way that, okay, I'm here. I deserve to be here. I've worked my backside off to be here, and I'm going to give it a good go. In a way that, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to work very damn hard. I'm not going to give nothing away. Okay? I may not have been the most talented performer in sport myself, but if you're going to beat me, you knew you were in for a battle. You played against the MITs, my athletes, you knew and you know you're in for a battle. Because we will not lie down. Okay? And that's as much as you can do. That's not in an arrogant way, it's in a way that I've got every right to be successful too. And my athletes do too. You beat me, then fine. No arguments. You're better than me, fine. I'll improve. So I'll do an exercise with you to show you how the thoughts work. I'm going to pat my hands every 30 seconds, and I want you to make a mental note what goes through your mind. Okay? And I'm going to show you how things work mentally.
Yeah, before you do, there's a message on.
Okay.
I think it's almost full.
Oh, that's cool.
No.
That's fine. I'll still run through. Okay, so I want you to, every 30 seconds or so, I'm going to clap, and I want you to write the first thing that goes into your mind. If you've got a pen, you haven't got a pen, that's fine, you got a mental note. Okay. The purpose of the exercise is that the thoughts you had yesterday, you have today. The thoughts you have today, you generally have tomorrow. We have roughly got 60,000 thoughts a day in our mind. I've not counted them, that's an estimation. And the significance of that is that 98% are reoffenders. Unless you consciously change your belief system, it won't do it on its own. You have to experientially and consciously make changes to be aware of what's going through your mind. Okay? Because you've been doing so much for so long, it's like a boat going full speed. It doesn't change straight away. You've got to re-navigate. Okay? You've got to start rewiring the brain. Whatever you've done has taken you to where you are. If you want to go to the next level, and you think this is going to help you, then start, and I'm going to show you ways, email you ways. We don't have time today to go into as much as I would like to, but I'll email you stuff and I'll generate stuff that you can use to start rewiring the brain, to start thinking differently. Okay? Because the next fight you go into, it only takes one idea, an association of idea, and a whole new behaviour, a whole new dynamic. What do I mean by that? So on the flip side, let's say for example, a 12-year-old sees their uncle smoke, and they think cool, and they start smoking too. On the flip side, 10 years later they might go into a hospital and see an emphysema ward, and they've got another idea association, they stop. So with competing is the same. At some point in your life you make a decision that, well some of you have anyway, from what you told me earlier, that means this. We're going to reverse that now. For those of you who see it in that way and start seeing it in a more positive way. Positive in the sense to give you the best chance to win. That's what we're all here for. We're here to have the best chance to win. Okay? Because like at some point, if you put your hand in fire, well you put your hand back in fire again. You build associations. Okay? Throughout life. So you've got associations to competing. And a lot of them are good. Maybe some aren't as good as you'd like them to be. But we talked about earlier how we can go deep into the brain and start giving you stuff and tools and techniques to raise your game. To go that little bit better. Okay? It takes 1% improvement in some sports to be the 50th best to the first best in the world. Because you know if you run, say, 9.7 seconds or so, I stand corrected, but let's say you ran 9.7 seconds, 100 metres, you've got a good chance to win the medal, if not gold. If you run, say, 9.9 or 10, you don't even make the Olympic team. They're margins that are fine. Fine margins. And the same applies to anything for that matter, at the highest level of sport. And that's where you guys are aspiring to be. Why not be world champions? Why not be the best in the world? I've worked with a lot of people over a long period of time. You would never imagine that at some point in their career people thought, well, you know what? They surpassed anyone's expectation. In football, I've had people I've worked with who've gone on to play in Champions League from not having a team. I'm not putting the success down to me, but what I'm saying is that I studied what they did differently. They just used their mind a bit differently. They were no better. I bet there's people out there that in the top 2 or 3 in the world, that probably not much technically better than what you are. And you train with them, like you train with people in sport, and you think, what's so great about them? They just have a way of orchestrating their capability in a certain way. That's the only difference. I'm not saying all the time, I'm not saying everyone's going to go and be, you know, the world's best, but you've got potential to be the best you can be, and that's all you can ask anyone. So it's eliminating that fight, flight, freeze. It's quieting down that part of the brain, you know, and thinking more clearer. So what do I need to do? More clearer, more process-driven, more focused on being the best I can be, more focused on executing my skill. Okay? Going away from that victim mentality. The victim. Anyone know what I mean by the victim? The victim being that making excuses. For getting beat, making excuses for this. And I know some things aren't fair. The referee, certainly in your sport, there's going to be decisions that are made that aren't going to be fair. But if I'm focusing on bad decisions, what's going to happen? So I know years ago I was working in football, a manager phones me up, like we had an FA Cup game. No, we had like a League Cup game against a Premier League team. And he goes, oh no, Jim, I can't believe it. I said, he's phoned me up like about midnight. I said, what's the problem? He goes, we're going to tomorrow's League Cup game against a Premier League team, and we've got injury suspensions, illnesses, ailments. We can't control that. And he goes, it's just our luck, isn't it? The one chance we've got to make an impression. We've got injuries, suspensions, and he's focusing and going on with himself. I said, call me back in an hour. 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, call me back in an hour. He calls back in an hour. He goes, you know what? We've got nothing to lose. I'm going to play the kids. They're going to enjoy themselves, and they're going to play and enjoy it. The pressure's on them. They're a Premier League team. They're not performing well. We've got nothing to lose. We can just have fun. We get 10-0, it doesn't matter. We win. Is that a different mentality, you think?
Yeah.
We're not winning games.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You can be a victim, or you can be a winner. Avoid being that victim. Things happen. Not good. I've been in the wrong decisions by a referee, wrong in decisions, not nice. You know, you might think you won a round. You might think something's going well. But in the end, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to move on. Go forward. Sorry.
Some kids and adults as well, when they're fighting, if the other opponent scores, say, a head kick, and it's worth 3 points, they look at the scoreboard, they realise that they're now behind, but they didn't actually score, the kick didn't hit, didn't connect, but the refs disagree. That puts them off the game straight away, because then they feel like they're on the back foot instead of thinking, well, you didn't get me, I'm going to get my own back now, and I'm going to do what I do. You can see that, can't you?
Oh no, great point. That's a great point for sure, definitely. The only issue is I can't control referee. All I can do is the next thing. It's like, these things happen. I mean, there was a fight that I watched on a couple of months ago, and I don't want to get drawn into it because I don't know much about what went on, but it was the Manny Pacquiao fight, and people said that he should have won, but then I don't know, I don't understand the scoring in boxing, but I can imagine that some people felt aggrieved. But what I'm saying is that going forward, what can you do? So that's a good point, because you're in a fight, and you don't think they should have scored the point, you're up against it, but then there's nothing you can do about that. Because I can't control the weather, I can't control the referee, I can't control the crowd. Who can I control? Myself. So what I can do is go back in again and perform well. And what I would say as well for the young people who have that happen to them, it happens the other way around too. I bet you don't complain when it happens to you, and you get the point.
Exactly.
You're not moaning then. It's alright then. Give me the points. It evens itself out. If you're good enough, you will get there. Okay? When I used to work in youth team football, and I used to sometimes get phone calls of parents telling me about their son wants to trial with team. I get phone calls, parents saying, my lad's 6'4", he runs 110 seconds, he can bench press 200 kilo, he can dribble like whoever. And the manager you played for last time doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, goodness me, if he's that, he should play for Roman Madrid. Not finding us up. But what I'm trying to say there is that, you know what, I always say if he's good enough, he will get there. We have to make decisions to give players pro contracts. You can only give about 3 players pro contract. And every parent wanted the world for the young person, understandably. And I used to say, well, there's only so much we can't give everyone a contract. There's nothing you can do. I wish we could, but we can't. Financially, the way the game is, it's just not possible. And they're like, well, you made the wrong decision. Well, I hope I have. Because I hope your son plays for the biggest club in the world and rubs it in your face. I hope. I want well for them. I just can't give him a place. Because we've got this left back, we've got this right back, we've got this striker. It's not possible. But what I always say, if he's good enough, he will get there. Eventually. Eventually he'll get there if he's good enough. It's like that lad who played at Halifax, I think, and he ended up at Leicester. Right. Precisely. He stuck at it, didn't he? I don't know him personally. I know some of the guys at Leicester. I do know a couple of players there. 1 or 2 players at Leicester I've worked before at different teams. And I do know that his attitude is spot on, from what I understand, in the sense that he's kept going. How many people that say 20-something-year-old think, you know what, I'll just forget it now. And he works his way up the league. So if you're good enough, you're going to get there, whatever you do. So you get that point against you. If you're good enough, you might not win that, but you win the next one. You cannot fight 50 fights, and in 50 fights it's always going to be the rubber the green against you. It's just not possible. It's not going to happen. You're going to have 100 competitions, and you're going to get robbed in 20 of them, you're going to get lucky in 20 of them, and in 60 of them it's just going to be on the day. That's the life. That's the way it is. In this football season, it generally happens that way. In the 38-game season, there are games that you should have got penalty, games you didn't get, games that you get. There's certain managers that always moan when they don't get penalties. Certain managers that play certain teams, you never get a penalty when you play against them in their own ground. But the bottom line is that you've got to manage your stakes.
Yeah. How come when they get to the bottom of the Premier League and they get that mindset of, we're down here and we can't seem to get up, but the ones that are up there can't seem to come down? It's a different mindset.
The top performers?
At the bottom, you get a mindset of, oh, we're down here, we've got all the bad luck, and they can't seem to.
Good point. Yeah, for sure. They get stuck in that rut, they get stuck in that state. And the person who's got the most flexible states from that point of view is the one who will determine any outcome. The one who can manage their mind the best will generally determine the outcome. In business, in work, in sales, in life in general, the parent, because the parent could moan at the child for smoking or overeating, but then the parent's not leading by example. It's no good me as a parent telling my kids, don't eat rubbish every day if I'm eating it. It's no good me telling my kids, don't smoke if I'm smoking in front of them. I've got to lead by example. It's no good telling my kids, you've got to be motivated if I'm like drifting around like that. So what I'm saying here is that, for me, it's about the player, the performer, going for that place that gives the best chance of winning. And for the player, what you mentioned there, the ones who do get stuck, and you see it, and I hear him a lot, this happened, that happened, shaking it off, getting out of that rut. And that's why there are certain players that I would not sign, because behaviour tends to repeat itself. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. I seriously wouldn't go anywhere near it because I'll just infect the whole dressing room. Out of sight, out of mind. Give me an attitude over talent any day. Because these clubs generally sign players that they think they can transform, and they could. I'm not saying they can't transform, some players do, but generally they'll do what they did in the last club, they'll do in this club, and another club, and another club. And for me, it's just shaking that state to be the best chance they can be. And it happens a lot, all things being equal in sport. And then another point you made there is a great point. You see at the end of the season, they start playing. And you think, well, you've got 3 games to go, then they all start winning. And that's what sort of gets me sometimes. One of my roles in sport, in football anyway, is to join teams that were struggling, to turn them around to save relegation. And I think, flipping heck, we won 5 games in a row, and the other team is winning 5 games in a row. Why weren't they doing this before? I went to a team one time, and to help us stay up in League 2. It was Acton Stanley that was struggling. It was their first season back in League 2, I think it was. Last 10 games of the season anyway, I turned up and they had to win like 9 games. And I got this video when they played Notts Forest in the Cup. They played really well. They lost the game. I said, lads, I turned up to do this sort of stuff with them, and I was sort of messing about, but I thought there was more nerves, you know. So I took them outside, I did some running with them and physical stuff with them, brought them back in. I said, let's aspire to play at that level every game. We can't control nothing else. What you can control, you guys, is application and effort. You can give 110%. I said, whatever happens, we go down, we stay up, whatever happens, happens. Pressure's on me. Now, everyone's sort of seeing what I'm going to do here. Your players are free. Just play the game. And they went on a winning run. And second last game of the season, played Macclesfield. Paul Ince was there, and they were raving on how he turned them around. But he had a big budget, we had nothing. And the winner stayed up type thing. The loser had to play last game to stay up. We won game, we stayed up. But you have times that things go your way. And the first game after I worked with them, we played, I think it was Torquay, 1-0 up. They went 1-0 up, Torquay, I think it was Torquay. And I thought, oh no, here we go. If we lose this game, it's going to undermine the stuff I've done. But we 1-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, we won the game. So sometimes you need a bit of luck too. I'm not saying you don't, but sometimes you've got to shake up the mentality. I'm not saying they start with me. What I'm saying is that think of your best fights and aim to be at that level at least. That's attainable. Okay? That's attainable. Think of your best performance and at least try and get there first. And then incrementally get better, if it's possible. Okay? And then sort of give you some things you can do, a couple of techniques before you come to draw to a close that you can use. Mental rehearsal is key, and I've got something you can use as well in the book when I email you. You can use, okay. Mental rehearsal is key. All athletes do it. You build a pathway in brain, okay. You can do it with technique. So I can do it with a technique, like ball down, arms out, for balance, strike ball. I can also do it again. So what I do now, very loosely, because there's time, think of your next fight. Has anyone got next thing coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. Think of the next fight you've got coming up. Okay? And what you can do afterwards, when you've got time, I'll email you, put a script of what you want to go. And in your script, it's like with a Hollywood director, not airy-fairy, Karate Kid, you're going to fall down, and purely what you want to do. Okay? And when you script, think about the weather, or the temperature in the room, the colours. If you've ever been to where you're going to fight, go there and be familiar with it. And really script it. And think about your technique. What are you going to do? Okay? Then see yourself on the screen, then step in the screen and imagine doing it. You know what the benefit of doing that is? If I do that and you don't do that, I've fought you once already. Precisely. And you're leaving it a chance. And the more I do it, because I told when I got my stable of football to say, rehearse every game, season. When you get fixture list, who are you going to play against? Playing against a tall player, small player, I might not play against him, well, so be it. At least if you do, you know what to do. You've got an idea. Because the mind can't tell the difference between reality and non-reality. They did a study at the University of Chicago once on basketball, and they showed 3 groups of basketballers, some practiced physically, some practiced mentally, and some didn't practice at all. Which group do you think improved most in 6 weeks? They did, yeah, because they practiced what they needed to practice. So you can do this with technique too, if you've got a technique. So I would say, if I'm teaching a boxer, I'd say, okay, practice your jab, practice your combinations in your mind. Okay? If I'm working with a tennis player, practice your backhand. I was working with a tennis player once, and she said she was struggling with her backhand. I said to her, if you're going to coach me to do it, how would you coach me? I can't coach it. And I realised she had a mental blockage, see, because you should be able to coach someone if you're at the highest level. Couldn't do it. So what about your forehand? Easy. So easy. The block was there, in that part of the brain. So, coach yourself as well. Go through the technique. Speak to the coaches as well. So I'll sort of do this very briefly with you. If you want to close your eyes, you can do. Sometimes if you can't close your eyes, you can do. You get right up, you do close your eyes. If you sort of think about your next competition, okay? You can keep your eyes open, eyes closed. When you're at home, you're not closing your eyes and doing it. But think of your next competition. Okay? Imagine being there. You're there. What you will hear, what you will feel, any smells, taste, you're there on day of competition. And you see the person that you're going to compete against. Okay? Their height, their stature, any sounds, referee, the people around you. So really add detail with scripts. And focus what you want to happen. Go through your combinations, your technique. Okay? Execute the fight in your mind, like seeing yourself on a screen. If you struggle to visualize like a screen, start by visualizing an orange, the colour of your front door, the colour of the car, just to sort of start visualizing, and then start visualizing how you want the fight to go like a screen, like seeing it dissociated. By seeing it dissociated, then you relieve the anxiety, because you're not in it yet. When you've got it perfect, what you do is you imagine being in the here and now. Imagine being in here and now, and you're in the actual fighting in the here and now. Okay? You're sending messages from the brain to your physical mind and body by doing that. It's been scientifically proven. They know they've wired people's brains to see when they visualize, messages fire. Okay? So you imagine being it, and imagine 3 scenarios, 3 situations. Okay? So the point doesn't go your way. And you imagine the point doesn't go your way, breathing, keeping calm, and coming back out again, and staying focused. Like the point has gone your way. It's okay. I've got this covered. Point can go my way, but I can still beat this person. Okay? Think of another scenario. The point goes your way. Stay focused. Stay focused. Go back in again. Give us another scenario, a few scenarios, as much as you can do, and then in your own mind, in your own time and pace, come back here and now. Okay? That's a great skill to have. You've done really well, and I'll email you a script to use that. Every top performer does that. There's not one top performer that doesn't visualize. Some visualize badly, and if you visualize badly, then you get the results. That's not every visualization. Every visualization, I imagine myself lifting a cup or whatever. It's being process driven. So I'm going to visualize myself take that penalty first. Okay? I'm going to visualize myself, first of all, a bottle of water there. I'm going to visualize myself, strike it first, and then I'll go with the strike. Okay? So I'm rehearsing it. I've got a better chance of striking it. Okay? And that gives you the best chance to hit the target, to do what you do, because you create a pathway in brain. The mind can't differentiate reality and non-reality. When you have a dream, you get nervous, you watch a scary film, you know it's not real, you're too scared to put bins down. After you watch The Exorcist, you think, I'm not going outside, put bins down. But, okay, and I give you an example. And I'll sort of give you an example. I've talked a lot about high top athletes. And to give you an example of visualization is really important. Years ago, this lad came to me, his dad sent him to work with me. I'll share this example. And this lad, he was 16, 17 at the time. He'd been released, I think, from Stoke, was at Macclesfield. His dad says he's struggling a bit for confidence. I didn't know the full story, by the way. When he came to work with me, he said he had the Osgood bladders. I don't know if you're aware what that is, but I'm not a medical person, but it's a condition of the knees. I'm not a medical person, but from what I understand, you've got to ease back on training. You've got to ease back a lot on training because of growth spurts, but you'll grow out of it. And he had that. So he couldn't train as much as everybody else. So I said to him, okay, get in touch with physio, do what you can train, and on the other side of things, we'll do some mental stuff with him. Okay? So I got him mentally practicing, passing short, heading the ball, playing the game, and he would do it. At first he was apprehensive. At first he'd come in for, what is this rubbish? And I could tell, as one does, but then he started doing it. He thought, you know what? And at the end, when they gave contracts to teams, and he'd missed like, you got 2-year window as in academy in football. He missed a lot of it. When I started giving contracts, he started playing again. He was one of the best players technically. I'm not going to say, oh, because he visualised and did work with me. What I'm saying is that he did what he could do. Okay? He got contract, which went on to be pro footballer, which is not big, you know, for a lot of people to play League 2 at a time, but it's something. It shows that the mind is important. Had he not done that, would he have got that? I don't know. But there's nothing stopping him practicing mentally and doing what he can do physically. I said, physio, what can he do? Can he swim? Can he go on a rowing machine, just use his arms? Rest his knees? That's your job. You're the physio.
So you focus on what he can do instead of what he cannot do.
Precisely. And we did it mentally and physically to keep his levels up. Because I knew at one point he's going to be able to play again. I didn't know when because I'm not a medical person and no one knows the answer to that. But I know one thing for sure, he's limited to what he could do. He couldn't train extensively because it would flare up his knees. So I thought, why don't we use mental rehearsal? This is a great opportunity in the sense that he can watch good technical players, mentally rehearse his free kicks, mentally rehearse his passing, his heading, and he improved a lot. He improved a lot. When he got the chance to play, the last 2-3 games of the season where he got a chance to play again, he wasn't off the pace, and he got the deal. So it shows how different the mind is. And the same as you guys, you visualise your performances, you do your mental skills training. You can be the best you can be. And the good thing about this stuff is transferable to other areas of life too. It's not just confined to this. It's transferable. They should teach you stuff in schools. They really should. And they're starting to do a little bit more now because you can be the most academic person in the world. You can be like that most academic person in the world, but if you can't focus, you can get nowhere in life. It's not the cleverest people who go far in life. Academics are the ones who emotionally can regulate their emotions. Not the best fighters that will win tournaments. You guys know that. It's the ones who can channel in the right day. Not the best footballers, the best tennis players. It's generally the ones who can control their mind the best. Okay? Which is key. Now I want to think about goal. okay, or where you want to go. Now, you don't have to do it now, but something you can take away. I have a press called a laser goal. And think about a goal. Maybe the goal being you're going to win the next fight, but be the best you can. Think about where you want to go in competitive. And think big. Think, you don't have to share it with anybody. You have to tell people you want to be world champion or the best in the world. It can be in here. But think big. At least you're in a supportive environment here where people aren't going to, I've been in certain clubs where someone says, I want to be world champion. They get ridiculed by other people in club. That's not good. We had a lad once in League 2 that said he wanted to play Champions League. Everyone laughed at him because he'd been kicked out 3-4 clubs for bad behaviour, I think, and it was quite a challenging person to handle. In League 2, to say you want to play Champions League, some of the senior pros laughed at him. They weren't laughing when he was. And Colin Kazim Richards, they weren't laughing when he played in Champions League, found a back shoot against Chelsea, scored a winning goal. Can happen. I've seen it before, so it wouldn't surprise me that you guys go on and do really, really well. You maybe make a transition to Olympic sport, and you make that, and you win a medal. Who knows? You've got to start somewhere. It's not impossible. I've seen it before. A lad I knew who did course with me, and LP course with me, Adrian, and this shows your life's perspective. This guy had everything going on in his life, great job, family, everything good going on in his life. Overnight he gets rushed to hospital, got conditioned brain, I think some sort of meningitis in brain. I don't know, I'm not a medical person, I only got what he told me. And you can see his video, I can email his video, done a talk for me once, and he goes, they give him a week to live. He gets through that week, gets through a few months, and eventually he goes home, and he can't move no more. He's got limb movements reduced considerably. And the first time he went out of the house, he told me, the first time he goes out of the house, he's driving down Chester where he lived, and these lads in a van pulled up and threw a Big Mac on his head, called him a cripple, and he didn't go back out again for months on end. There's horrible people out there. And ultimately he decided, you know what, I've had enough. I'm going to do something. And he focused. He took up fencing, and 2012 he ended up winning like two gold in fencing. And since then, he's gone on to be an ambassador for like a hate crime and talks in schools. And take my word for it, I'll email the link, you'll see. So what I'm saying is that you can feel sorry for yourself, and life's not always fair, but it shows you can do things. You can turn things around. He did it. People do it all the time. So what you want to be, what you'll see, hear and feel when you get there. When you see the person when cut final, they don't talk about, they talk about what they dreamt as a 12-year-old scoring a goal at Wembley. And not just about smart goals and writing things down that way, it's about feeling it. What would it feel like to be a world champion? What would it feel like to be the best you can be? And what resources do you have to do it? What are your strengths? How can you do it? Think about how you can do it. Think about, there'll be someone in this group, I guarantee you, and there always is. I guarantee you now, there's going to be someone in this group that's been doing this for a long time now, that's going to take this on board, that's going to email me 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, and say, you know what, I'm world champion now. I guarantee you there'll be someone, I've achieved what I want to achieve. Always happens, always someone who will take something on board, whether they go on to be the best they can be, whether they become a world champion, professional footballer, whether they become the best in their field, or whether they just be the best they can be. There's always someone who will take that on board. I haven't had many goals in my life, I've not achieved all of them, but they've taken where I need to be. If you have a goal, you go where you want to go, and you just adjust the sails. But there's always someone who will take on board. Think about it, set goals. Who sets goals in group? Anyone like set goals? Yeah, okay. And you've got the best chance of achieving because you set them. If you don't set goals, what happens do you think?
You just go through, you just stay on that set.
If I don't set a goal, I become a part of someone else's goals. What have they got planned for me? Nothing. So I want to be in the driving seat. Set my own goals. It's where I want to be. For me, people say, well, you're quite fortunate. You've got so many sports teams and your career, you're quite fortunate to do what you do. And I am. I understand that. I appreciate it. I work hard to get there. But when I first started, I've been studying for a long time now. I've been studying for many, many years. But when I was growing up, I wasn't academic growing up. I wasn't very academic. I had sport, like you guys. Sport was my outlet. I got caught up in wrong crowd, 15, 16-year-old, I had some family problems. Mum was ill, and Dad got into work, we had no money, I had to go out and work in factory for a bit and go to school, and my schooling suffered. But sport was my outlet, it got me to travel the world. I first started uni at 23, I signed up for a course at Loughborough University in the UK, sports performance conditioning. I could hardly read or write, I didn't know alphabet properly, because I'd suffered academically growing up. I didn't blame anybody, it was just the way it was. But I put my head down, I was in a room, sports performance conditioning, Loughborough University, some really bright people thinking, oh no, I can't, I don't know now, the verb, nothing. How am I going to get through this course? I got through course, I studied hard, signed up for another course, signed up for loads of studies, loads. And people say, oh, you're one of the most qualified people in your field. I don't know what that means, I don't think I have, but I know I've done loads of courses, studied NLP, the therapies, many, many modalities. I went out to read 3 best-selling books, many results. I'm not saying to brag, by the way, I'm not bragging in person, I'm just saying what's possible. And people say to me, I just signed up recently for another master's at King's College, one of the most prestigious colleges in the world for what I do, neuroscience, mental health. People say, why are you doing that? Why are you signing up for another master's for? What's all that about? I say, I'm a lifelong learner. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to learn. You're never too old to learn. So goals are key. Life hasn't always gone the way I wanted to go. But, you know, you hang in there and you go from there. If you set yourself high, if you don't get there, at least you're going to get near. Better chance. No matter what age you are, you're 10 or 100-year-old. You know, God willing, who knows how long any of us are going to go on for. So what the heck? Just keep going. Who knows? You know, I was watching what was the game? Was the Olympic Games? I can't remember what it was now. It might be Commonwealth Games. That woman who started running at late 30s and won a gold, I think it was. Things happen like that, you know. When I first started working in sport, in business, by the way, I sort of changed, reinvented the wheel. This doesn't sort of go off tangent. When I first started working in business, they said to me, I took on this team that were really struggling, a corporation, and this sales team, and they said, what do you want to improve? And they gave me these sort of things to improve. They were like external attribution. They were what they call KPI. I didn't know what KPI was. Now, I know what they are now. It was indicators. They're all external measurements. So they gave me these things like that. Here you go. That's what we need to improve. What I realised, what they wanted me to help them improve, were all external factors, like you mentioned earlier, stuff that you can't control. You can influence, you can't control. And I went back next day and said, you know what, guys, the best way of improving these is improving this, improving that. If you can function at 8 out of 10, 10 being high, what makes a good fighter? Enthusiastic, motivated, confident. What makes a good salesperson? Enthusiastic, confident, motivated, appreciates the customers. If you can get to a high level there, they'll look after themselves. They're important, like league table in sport, but put them away. Internal attribution. Focus on self. Focus on your attitude, because it's contagious. And ask yourself, is it worth catching? Okay? I don't know why it is, but one person who's got a negative outlook on life will influence people more than someone who's positive. In my experience. One person in the dressing room, that bad apple in the dressing room, tends to affect everybody else. And you mentioned earlier about the football teams. A lot of times the teams at bottom who don't achieve, they've got 2 or 3 clusters of players. And we saw a Premier League team the other year, they win season one year, another season they're flipping neither here or there. Suddenly last season. So it only takes 2 or 3 players. And it's a team effort. You know, the more, and sometimes people have hard times. You've got people in your group that are struggling. No one's going to be happy all the time. Some days things are tough. School pressure, family pressure. You just look out for people. Look out for each other. When you have fights, look out for each other. You know, if someone's a bit nervous, go up to them, talk to them. Talk to each other, bounce. Bounce off each other. You know, create a nice environment, a winning environment. You know, you all win together, really. One person wins, you all win, really. That's the way to look at things, cheer each other on. And I just think before we sort of close, a couple of things you can do. Think about things you can do to take your career forward. I said 5 things, but you don't have to write 5. It could be 1, 10, as many as you think of. What can I do to take a career forward? It might be visualization, rehearsal, practice certain skills. Think about technique you want to practice. Really think, how can I go forward? If you're looking forward, you go forward. If you look backwards, you stay there. Okay? Always go forward. Every champion I work with will always go forward. New ways to improve. Don't rest on your laurels. Even if you're world champion, keep going forward. Look for new ways to improve. You won't be world champion for long if you stay the way you are. Someone's going to take your shirt. You've got to keep going forward. Look for ways to improve, as long as you're in the game. You know, I don't know if you watched tennis the other week. I was watching tennis on TV, and Federer won again. I don't know Federer personally, but I like tennis as well, and he's won Wimbledon again. And people wrote him off. Can't do it, 30-something-year-old. A few years ago, when he got knocked out early, he said he should give up. Right, they got to say he should give up. You've got all these people, not won nothing, not done anything, and they tell other people they should live their life. How ridiculous is that? You know, I used to work on radio myself, and I did a course on media. I hired someone to teach me some media work. At the end of the course, she says to me, I said, what do you think? I'll get some work somewhere on radio? She goes, no. I go, why? She would tell me if I paid for the course. She goes, you don't speak articulately enough. I said, really? Wow. And I ended up joining a station. We took the show that we did to #1 in the radio. So, what right I've got people to tell you what you can and can't do? No matter who it is. You know, the audacity in some of these pundits is a world champion to say no, should give up. Ridiculous. It's a shambles, you know. I always say to people, look at who's telling you you can't do what you can do. What right are they got? Yeah. Exactly. You know, if they've got credibility, you might listen, but people who've got credibility won't say that. Unless they don't want to use competition. Yeah. Unless they're trying to psych you out. Yeah. We don't want you around. Yeah. You should give up now. Go retire somewhere. Yeah. Plan your week. You know, I've got a weekly plan I can send you. Plan your week. Okay. This is really important for you guys who work and got other commitments too. Make sure you really plan your week. You know, time management is key. When you've got to do what you've got to do what you have to do. If you're in training, be in training. Leave all your baggage behind and be in training. Be in the moment. We've all got problems, we've all got stuff going on in our lives, we've got stuff to do. When we're there, we've got to be there. I tell my players before game, lad, when we play, leave all your baggage behind. Focus on game. You can't do nothing about it anyway. Pick it up later if you want to. When you go to fight, leave whatever's on your mind outside and focus. And your weekly plan is good for that. Because I know we're all busy, we've got stuff to do, but if it's important to you, you'll do it. If it's not, you'll make an excuse. Block time out. Your friend phones you up and wants to talk about, I don't know, some gossip, and you've got training to do, I've got to train. Sorry, I'm busy. You know, if there's an episode of Coronation Street you want to watch, you have to leave it and focus what you're going to do. If there's stuff that you think, someone says, oh, let's go to the cinema, but you've got a big fight coming up, then it's your priority. It's right for them. Your aspiration, not fussed about you, want to hang around you in the day. I'm not saying to choose your friend, who you hang around is your call. What I'm saying, proximity is power. Show me your 5 friends, I'll show you your future. Truth be told. You know, it's not easy. I had people in my close circle of friends and family that I love dearly, but we had different ideas of what was capable. I didn't cut anybody off, but I had to find new people to be around, to be too. So be around winners, you know, and be in a supportive environment as much as you can do. Finding people who want to go where you want to go. Okay? If I train with Philip, I'm going to be inspired to be the best I can be, and I'll push him to be the best he can be. If I train with someone out, if someone outdoor says to me, come hang out with me, and we just go to a pub every night, and I want to be a fighter, I'm not going to get anywhere. I've got to choose, and I've got to dictate. And that's not to say we don't have downtime and rest and recovery, but for me, what I used to do with my footballers, when I used to work with football state lads, on Sunday, we play Saturday, go for a swim. Recovery swim. Because on Monday, you can train next to 10% more. And it adds up in the course of the season. And they used to say to me, well, I've got family. I said, yeah, okay, I won't bring you to the club, but take your family for a swim. Your kids for an hour. Do a family thing, social, a bit of tennis, recovery. Okay? Because the recovery means you train harder. You train harder, you play better. That 1 hour swim is key for you coming back Monday and training well. And I used to think, okay, from a point of view motivation, it's important that they spend some family time. Why bring them in? Why bring them in if they've got to drive 2 hours away? I know they're going to do it. They're responsible lads. Just do it there. unless it was something that we had to bring them in that was urgent for, but finding ways to sort of adapt it into your lifestyle too. Your weekly plan is key. Look at your weekly planner carefully, and if it's not taking you where you want to go, change it. Important stuff. Okay? It's like music. Music enhances mood. There's techniques we cover that can enhance your mood. Because you know, if you see the friend that you walk past on the street doesn't say hello, if you're in a good mood, will you react differently in a bad mood? Yeah. So if someone cuts me up and I'm in a good mood, I'm going to react different. I might think, well, actually, you know what? They might be racing their wife to hospital. They might be done accidentally. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll react differently. In a fight, if you go in there feeling confident, great. What a great opportunity. You're well. You're fit. You're healthy. You've got a great opportunity to do what you love doing. You're going to do different to what you would do if you think, you know what, I'm dreading this. Because some of you are better like training, but when it comes to competition, it's like, oh no. For me, the competition is the limelight. That's what you want. That's what you aspire to be. You know, younger ones, you aspire to compete. Be the best you can be. There's no more beautiful feeling than being a top athlete. Everyone wants to be. I've been coach. I've been, many things in sport. But I can tell you now, being an athlete is the best. I don't care what anybody says. Being out there on a Saturday afternoon and doing it is no better feeling. Everything else for me is a substitute. Albeit it's great, fantastic. I love what I do. I can tell you now, being the performer is magnificent. And it doesn't last forever. Make most while you can. Make hay while the sun's shining. Go for it, And we talked about what you practice goes stronger. The more you practice being in a good state, the stronger it gets. It's a pathway in the brain. It's a bit like, if I draw a map on here, if I draw stuff on here, the more I draw it. So if I go to a certain destination, if I've not been there before, the more I go there, the more easy it becomes to get there. The first time you go somewhere, it's not easy. So build pathway in the brain. The more you practice fear, what happens, do you think? The more you experience it, the more it gets stronger. The more you practice confidence, focus, energy, the stronger that becomes. Okay? It's like a hay field. You drive through the hay and you make pathways. And the brain's the same. The brain's no different. Okay? Practice grows stronger. Okay? That's neuroscience. Scientifically proven. Neuroplasticity, you rewire the brain, they get stronger, like a road network. When you first learn to drive, first gear, second gear stall, then you do autopilot. You go to a new place, you've got to think about it consciously. Autopilot. You want that to be autopilot. Repeated experiences shape our reality. Visualization is the easiest way to do repeated experiences. You can do 100 fights before you take the next fight. You can fight the next person in your mind 100 times in your mind between now and then, if not more. And you're going to stand a much better chance. And if you turn up and think, you know what, hope for the best. And you might hope for the best and win one day. But over the course of 100 fights, if you prepare mentally, visualization, rehearsal, getting to the state through anchoring, all these things, you're going to stand a much better chance. If you've got a goal to win the next fight, you've got a goal for the session. My goal for the next session is to improve a certain technique. My goal for the next session is to improve my left foot if I'm kicking a ball. My goal for the next session is to improve one of my punches, my kicks. My goal for the next session is to improve my flexibility. Every session you should have a goal. Every fight you should have a goal to win the fight. Then go to the process. Your goal should be the best that you can be. Okay? And if you've got any limiting beliefs, one thing you can do is, what are some of the limiting beliefs that you guys had, you mentioned earlier? What are some of the things that you think about that were limiting? About the guy, what were some of the things that...
Go on, Josh.
Yeah.
They're bigger than you.
Okay, and what's the opposite of that? How can we see it differently?
Picturing them smaller than you.
You could do, the bigger the harder they fall. Just if they get back up somehow. But yeah, now you can and write a limiting belief, and then you write the opposite. So okay, I'm going to lose. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not. All these things happen, and just you write the opposite. The opposite of that being, I am great. I am worthy. I'm an amazing person, and say it with intensity, with a physical gesture, because the mind and body links. Okay, I learned this technique many years ago from one of the most prolific motivational speakers in the world. I was watching him, and he did a lot of this and talked a lot about that, and I've improvised since then. So if you do incantation, and maybe you do it when you're punching, when you're doing that, because you guys do it anyway, so the next time you throw a punch, whatever you do, then focus also on the mind as well. Okay? Develop a mantra. When you practice, in your mind, every day I get better and better. I'm confident. I'm awesome. I'm fantastic. And that doesn't feel natural. It's contrived for a lot of people, especially if you've been telling yourself negative things for a long time, but you can reverse it. Okay? Same as emotion. If you're angry, sad, write the opposite. The opposite of anxiety could be confident. Okay? Every day I feel more and more confident. Every day I feel more and more, and feel it. Okay? I want to feel motivated. Feel confident. Feel it. Go there first. And as you feel it, focus on bringing that into the next fight, into training. Another technique you use very briefly, as we come to the close now, for anxiety, okay, is breathe deeper. Practice breathing deeper. With my anxiety patients that I work with anxiety, performance anxiety, I teach them to breathe deeper. So practice breathing through your abdominal. And the reason being is that when you do that, when you see fear, so before your fight, you can sit down and breathe deeper, and practice breathing deeper when it's safe, not when you're driving in the shower, you might swallow water, but practice breathing deeper because when you're anxious, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in. If I see a wild dog outside, I'm going to fight, flight, freeze, adrenaline rush, the nervous system kicks in. To settle that down, I breathe deeper. It happens automatically. The parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. So practice letting the parasympathetic nervous system kick in. The nervous system that relaxes the speech and the muscles, heart rate goes down, and you feel more relaxed. Breathing deeper. Practice it. So the deeper you breathe, how do nervous people breathe? Here. Yeah. Exactly. If you're in a fight, you're breathing like that, you're not going to be focused. You're in a fight, you're breathing deeper, you've got oxygen in your brain, you're clear, you've got a better chance. So practice your breathing every day when you've got time, and it becomes automatic, subconscious.
Is there a rule like 5 in, 5 out?
Some people say that, that's a good point, some say 4. I think for me, it's about finding what works for you. Because some people who do yoga can breathe, I couldn't breathe as deep as they do because they breathe that deep, they'll probably pass out. So you've got to find your own benchmark, I think. That's the key for me. Find your own benchmark, and that helps with the chemicals in your body as well. But you know, find out that works for you, great. But you can wear a heart rate monitor, you can check blood pressure, all that sort of stuff can work too. But that's the key, because if you go into the fight and it becomes automatic, and you step up, you're breathing nice and deep, you're clear, your brain's got oxygen, better decision. You know, if you're sort of all flustered and that sort of stuff. And I know some of this stuff is, you know, I was doing some courses, some training at the Air Force one time, and I was talking about breathing and imagery, going to a place, imagery, where you feel calmer, to decompress. And I had one of the guys who, you know, sort of old school dude, who goes, what's all this sort of, you know, new age mental stuff? And I thought, I'm not going to argue this guy, there's no point. I said to him, you know what, if you want to, I'll demonstrate something with you. And I took his heart rate, I took his blood pressure. I'm not a medical person, but I know enough to know that your heart rate should be going 60, 90, blood pressure 140 over 90 underneath that. It was slightly higher than what it should be for him. And I took it, and I took the reading, and I then did some breathing with him, and I did some imagery with him, and his heart rate went down by 20 beats per minute. So rather than arguing with him, I did a very experiment. And he said, wow, 20 beats per minute. He goes, what does that mean? I go, in the course of the day, if your heart rate is 20 beats per minute less, it's about 10,000 beats less stress on your heart. But more importantly for you guys in this environment, if you run to the end of the room and back again, you've got to make a big decision. Are you better making that decision when your heart rate's down, you're focused? You better make that decision when you're sort of flustered. The answer's obvious. And that was his bond. He did me a big favour. Because by saying that, everybody else bought in and they realised how important it is. So just by breathing, imagery, rehearsal, you can de-escalate. You can compose yourself. One of the biggest clubs in the world invited me once to do a think tank. A lad I worked for at Blackburn when I did a training over there, became a sports scientist at one of the biggest clubs in the world. He goes, can you come in and I want to have a chat to you about cortisol reduction? And he said, what do you recommend? We've tried different things. I said, I don't know if that's good on board or not, but I said, what I would recommend is to do rehearsal, visualization, breathing, because that's a natural process. You can take chemicals, not for or against that. People take different stuff that they use, but ultimately in the end, the brain can do what it needs to do. When someone's sleeping, they have a panic attack, unless they've got a condition, because the body knows what to do. Okay? I never told my anxiety patients, by the way, to relax, because they've heard it too often. They have a bad association to that word. I'll use it when they're ready to. If they say to me, I felt relaxed, and I'll use the word, but I won't impose it on them. I'll talk about muscle energy. Control your muscle energy. Before a fight, rather than think relax, think control your muscle energy. And you guys know that about muscle energy. And I'm not saying that the issue around cortisol, the guy who asked me in sports science, was resolved, but he asked me after Champions League games, the players' cortisol is really, really high. They've done testing and they struggle to reduce them. I said, why not try something natural? You can't lose by doing it. Well, how long will it last? Well, it lasts as long as anything lasts. You take a tablet for pain relief, it's not going to last forever, but it goes, pain comes back, take another one. Same as mental strategy. Goes back up, take another one, do it again. Rehearse. So for me, breathing is key. Really important. Practice breathing deeper, practice rehearsal, and that can make a massive difference. Because the next time you go and fight, rather than breathing here, you breathe here, and you focus, you compose, you clean your mind, you've mentally rehearsed, you're in a peak state, you've got a very good chance to win. The best chance you've got, I think, of winning. For me, it's like the parasympathetic nervous system, because the body knows what to do automatically. Probably your practice goes stronger. A final technique I use, a couple of final techniques, the emotional flood technique. Okay, flood the body with positive emotions. Okay, when I was working at a corporation recently, okay, this business, I'm doing some business coaching. I turn up to this environment, and after the weekend, when people have had, some of them had a good night's sleep on Sunday, they turn up to work, and they cannot function without having 5 cups of coffee. I'm thinking, you need 5 cups of coffee to get going on Monday. You've got some serious sleeping problems. You know, I'm not saying to have 1 or 2, but if you can't get your head in the right space, you're going to have to sort of focus on other stuff too. So diet and nutrition is important, but also mind is important too. Okay? Getting in the right headspace. And there's a great technique you can use. Now, if you write down emotion you want to feel, confidence, motivation, you don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to, but you can if you do, and really feel it, and flood the body with it. The more you flood the body, the more it gets stronger. If you get negative thoughts, let them disintegrate into the atmosphere, but feel that confidence, give it a colour, a sound, and hold on to it. You get negative thought, let it go. And before you go into a fight, you can do the exercise. Before you go into a fight, breathe through abdominal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever works for you. Settle, and just go to that place of confidence. And feel it, and take it to the fight. Going in there, confident. Not overconfident, we respect the opposition. It's all on a day, but enough confidence to go and do what you know you can do. Because you're all very talented. You're all good at what you do. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. You haven't trained all this time. You're not training to go out there and not perform to the best ability. Plenty of other things you can do. Your time. You know, you can do other things with time. You can watch TV. You can play on the Xbox. You can go on Facebook if you want even. But you're here for a reason. And the reason you're here is because you want to improve. This will make you improve. And if you're here, you may as well give it your best shot. If I go out and do some work, I'm thinking, you know what, I may as well do my best shot. The same energy is something bad and something good anyway. You may as well go in and do your best shot. Perspective. This can rewire the brain too. Now, when you think of your next fight, how can you see it differently? What are some ways you can see your next fight?
You can see yourself stood up podium with first place.
You can see that as a challenge, excitement. Awesome. your chance to leave a legacy, your chance to be the best you can be. Change your perspective. Your thought, we talked about the thoughts earlier. You talked about thoughts, is he bigger than me? Is she bigger than me? What if I lose? What if this? What if, what if, what if? If I tell myself what if, I won't get out the front door. I guarantee you that. What if, you'll find. You'll find. And guarantees for no end world. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if, what if, most things you worry about are not going to happen anyway. If they don't happen, you can't control them. So perspective is key. Rewire the brain. If you change perspective on the thought, you start rewiring the brain. Because you've seen it differently. New pathway in the brain. Okay? How about thinking the next fight is an amazing opportunity to go out there and perform? How about next fight is an awesome opportunity to enjoy it? How about thinking there's people out there that would give anything to be where you are? Okay? People out there would give anything to be where you are. You know? If you close your eyes for 1 second, just a moment, you just close your eyes for 1 second, okay? And if you open your eyes again, there's people out there, they can't see you. There's people out there, they can't move. There's people out there, I'm not using them to compare yourself. I'm not saying, you know, undermining people. I'm saying it because we don't appreciate what we have. You're healthy. You're well. There's people out there that would give anything to be where you are. They really would. The younger ones, you live in a great country with plenty of opportunity. Lots of opportunity. You can do these sort of things. A lot of countries around the world couldn't do this sort of stuff. Couldn't do it. Got a great chance. In the table Olympics, the UK finished second last time because of the great opportunities they've got to train. They got that everywhere. Take it. Embrace it. You know, you can go to university, you can do a lot of wonderful things. Perspective is key. It really is. I'm not saying it's perfect, by the way. No, it is. But what I'm saying is that how you see something impacts your perspective, change your world. If I think next fight, oh no, going to get beat, what if he does this, what if she does that? If I think, great, I'm going to give this person a good goal and see what happens. Whole different perspective. Whole different perspective. You know, and think about things you can do tomorrow to do, get the ball rolling, get the snowball going, you know. Just little steps that you can do, incremental changes. Things that, if you do one thing different every day over the course of a year, you know, if I train 1 hour a week more than what you train, in 1 year, 60 hours more. Okay? If I train 1 hour a day more than what you do, then it's a lot more than what you've done. Okay? And that's the key for me. If I'm staying back after training, practicing my free kick, I've got a better chance. If I can't do something well, and I'm here, and I join club, I'm going to go see Phil and say, Phil, how do I improve that? I'm going to hang around and get it right for 10, 15 minutes to get it right. Or one of the senior men, or anybody who can teach me to do what they do well. That's the ethos some of the best performers in the world have had. They've been talented, yes, but they've worked hard to get there. Okay? I'm not saying that everyone's aspiration is to be world champion, but be the best you can be. If there's something you need to improve, then improve that. Watch people who do what you want to do. Get around excellence. Find people. Okay? Find a role model. Is what I always tell people that I work with. Find someone you aspire to be or be like. You know, Google them, find them. Even if they're world champion, find someone. Okay? I've been fortunate in my career to have had some great mentors. Not officially my mentors, but they've been a mentor in the sense that I've learned through them a lot. Some of the best in the field in what I do. Okay? I wasn't the most academic, the most talented person, but I would do the extra hour every day. I would study 2 hours a day, that's half an hour. Because I had the aspiration to be the best I could be in my field. And I found the best mentors in the world, wherever they were, and hung around with them. And I realised they weren't any different to me. No different to me. Only other than the way they apply themselves. So the world champion is no different to you. They're probably not much better than what you are. You know, not much better. Yeah.
We have a big competition next year at Bristol, Irish Open. And we always say, if we get a medal, we'll have done well. Should we be saying we're going for gold and not a medal?
It's a good point. I think it's a difficult one. It's easy for me to say here, standing here, I'm not fighting, see. I'm not there. I'm not going to be in competitions. I can say, yeah, go for it. but I'm not going to sort of say to you, you know what, you guys, that's a great point. What I would say for me is aspire to be the best you guys can be. Aspire for that goal. I've worked with certain teams that I work with, and we'd say one thing in the club and one thing in the media to take the pressure off players. In the media, we'd say, yeah, mid-table finish would be great. In the club, no, we want to be top. You know, in the media, I'd say, yeah, we'd be happy to have one player become pro, but I'd be like, I want you all to be pros. So I think it's a difficult one to gauge. But what I would say is that where you set your benchmark, you'll get to. In-house, why not? What have you got to lose? If you're not winning anyway, you're not losing it, you're not got it, you may as well. I'm sure you're all talented enough to go for gold. Let that be your mantra, to get gold. And then focus on what you can control. Good point, because you aim for a medal.
If you aim for third and you get fifth, are you alright for that?
On the other hand, say you aim for gold and you come away with silver or bronze, then that is an achievement, isn't it?
You're overdoing your expectations.
Yeah, achievement, competing is achievement. You're all winners. Whatever you do, you're out there doing it. There's people out on the street now that don't do what you do. There's people out there now that'll be drinking in pubs. There's people out there now that'll be doing nothing in their life. You're doing something. You're all winners. You're all doing good. Nothing wrong with drinking in pub. We all, but I'm saying that there's people out there doing nothing. You guys are doing something. Being there is you're a winner. If you're going to go there, give it your best shot. Why not go for gold? As long as you can sort of cushion the blow, you know what? You don't get the gold, I've given it all I can. The way I would work is I'm going to go for gold. I'm going to go for gold. I'm going to give everything I've got to get that gold. Everything I've got to get there. And if I don't get it, of course I'll be disappointed.
But no regret.
No regrets. I might spend the next day or 2 weeks sulking, crying. I might want to be around me for a week or two. But I'll get over it. But I'll improve. Playing it safe for me is the easy way out. I can say, well, competition's all that matters. It's all that matters, you know. As long as I go there, which is great. But in the end, that's the easy way out. For me, don't look for the easy way out. Look for the character strength to raise. That would be my ethos. Go for gold. Go for it. And in the pursuit of going for it, be the best you can be. And then you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I have done what I can do. I couldn't have done any more. Leave nothing in the tank. Don't leave anything in the tank. Go out there and give it your all. You might go beyond gold. You might be gold medal for the next 10, 15 years for all we know. Because you just change that method of thinking. If you settle for what you settle for, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. If you just change incrementally, you never know. So you don't win the gold. You're still around, you're still competing, you're still doing what you love to do. I'd be like, good that you're disappointed. It means you care. You've gone for it. There's nothing worse for me than looking back in life. And young people won't sort of understand this. But as you get older, one day you'll sort of understand what I'm saying. Is that the big point in your life is, you know what? If only. You won't regret what you've done, you regret what you didn't do. Look back and think, oh, I wish I had done that when I was younger. I wish I had done that when I could have done it. All this can be taken away from me in an instant, any of us. I've seen many athletes who could have been the best in the world who were injured, gone overnight. And that's not trying to scaremonger anybody. It's just saying, if you're there, give it your all and go for it. Go for gold. Let's aim for gold. Let's aim above that. Let's aim the best that we can be. And what happens, happens in the end. At least you can look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I give it the best I could do. No regrets. That's the way to go for me. And back yourself. There's nothing special about anybody. For me, I admire people. I admire the mentors who helped me get to where I am. I'm in awe of nobody. Okay, what I mean by that, I admire people. I'm happy. I work around people who are the best in their field. I admire them, but I'm not in awe of them. If I go into a company, I'll treat the director of the company the same way I would treat the person at the reception. The cleaner, no different to me. It makes no difference. And so should you in sport. No matter who you come up against, have respect for them. Okay? If I'm playing in cup, we're playing against under 12s team, I will respect them as much as I respect the best team in the country, all age. Because I know on the day anything can happen. I'm going to play and prepare the same way no matter who I play against. I don't care where you are in the table. I don't care if you're a non-league team and I'm in the Premier League. I don't care if you're not won a game in 10 years. If I'm fighting you and I hear you never won a fight in your life, that could be the first time you win against me. I'm going to prepare like I've never won before. I'm going to prepare so hard, I'm going to fight like I've been a world champion with confidence. So I'll respect everybody, no matter who it is. Equally, if I'm fighting someone who has won 50 fights in a row, it could be the day they lose. It might be my day. It happens. We've seen it before. People, you know, eventually, no matter who they are going to get beat. Make a name for yourself and go out there and do it. Yeah, definitely. Make this be a springboard to move forward. I'll email you an ebook, one of my best-selling ebooks if you want to. We're on all the social media there. You can keep in touch with me. It'd be great to keep in touch, and anything you need from me from today, then feel free to email me. I've covered as much as I could in the short time we've got. Hopefully you take what you need away from here, but do keep in touch, and I'll email through Phil some stuff, some material you can read, and take what you want out of it, and set your goals, pick some of these skills, and you're on the way. Whether you practice them here, when you're at home, a bit of both, whether you take a bit of time every week to do a bit of visualization rehearsal, it's your call. But I'm sure that by using that, it'll give you the best chance to be the best you can be. So, yeah, thank you. Awesome.
Thank you very much. That was great, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, the biggest thing, I don't know about anybody else, the biggest thing for me really was the visualization concept.
Yeah.
Because I, obviously, not knowing that the brain can't differentiate the difference between the reality
part of the brain
and the visualization.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because we've had seminars at our club from world-class athletes, and I've always had the opportunity to spend a bit of downtime with them after, and I've always asked them the same thing. How do you mentally prepare? What gives you the winning edge? What makes you different when you step on the mats to when I step onto the mats and I'm a nervous rep? And it's confidence. And one of them in particular, which won't mean anything to you, but these guys, Raymond Daniels, said to me, I said, you know, how would you have that mental edge? And it were all about the visualization. He said he sees it, he walks around, looks at the podium, stands there for a second, imagines himself stood on top of that podium.
Yeah.
As like a comic book, and he sees himself in the book fighting people and stuff like that. All that kind of visualization that you mentioned. And Jardy's tension were exactly the same. Exactly the same. Yeah. Same kind of things. Visualization.
No, they all do, for sure.
Yeah, the confidence that they can beat them. They've trained harder than they have. They know their skills will work in that environment. So it's
yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Visualizing being one of them, and you'll find a technique that works for you better than the other ones. And be it self-talk, be it belief change. It's a massive area, but it only takes one thing. Can make a big difference, and do email or send some resources you can use and work on them and see where the road takes you. You know, just believe in yourself. You've got no other option really. What are the options? Go in there thinking, okay, I'm going to be there, I may as well go in there and give my best shot.
And that's the thing, some people have like a fear of maybe getting injured. Well, whether you perform at your best or you don't perform at your best, the risk of injury is exactly the same. So why not give it your best? Yeah, I could walk the dog and get injured. You know, I could be in bed and pain could fall. The trouble is that the best chance you've got of not getting injured, I think, is by focusing on what you do really, really well. Yeah. When you sort of hold back on a tackle in sport, for example, in football, it's only when you get injured. If you're going to go through, just go through the tackle. And so applies to the sport. That's exactly what happens.
When you hesitate.
When you
sort of stop and exactly, You know what to do, you're skilled. You're not training for another reason, you're training, you're skilled professionals. You're good at what you do. You're good at what you do, you're instinctive, you're quick. You'll be fine. I'm sure of it. That's for sure, you know. And you're tough, you're strong, you're mentally fast. Focus on what you do really, really well. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.